Can you change your avoidant ex's attachment style? This tends to be a legitimate question that a lot of people have who are dealing with an avoidant, because there is a part of you that wonders, is there something that you can do to try to help them to make the change? Because there is a part of you that does want the relationship to work, because when it is going good, it is a wonderful relationship to be in. It's just when it's going bad, it goes really bad because they allow for this attachment style to just control their emotions and reactions, and it causes them to pull away, which ends up putting you in this exhausting cycle where they pull away the moment you get close, and then the moment you pull away, they start to get close to you. And the simple but unfortunate answer to this is no. There is nothing that you are going to be able to do to help them, because this essentially comes from them. This attachment style developed early on in their childhood based off of how their caregivers responded to their emotional needs. So as you can imagine, this is something that took a very long time to develop and cause them to be this way. So along that time frame, they have built up a fortress really to protect this way of being, and this is really how they're to secure themselves and to feel good and to essentially help them to cope through that time and not getting their emotional needs met by that caregiver. While you are having great intentions in trying to help them to process this and work through it so that they can get to a better place and you guys can actually have a relationship, this is always going to be a threat to them. They're always going to have a bad response to this, and it's always going to trigger those responses that's going to keep them that way. And also, part of what they've done to kind of normalize this for themselves is that they have done an impeccable job to convince themselves that it is okay to be this way. They do this to distract themselves from really looking at things and understanding that the reason why they're being this way is because of not getting their emotional needs met by that caregiver, and it hurts them too much to essentially go back and to work through all of that to heal from it. And that is what it's going to take. They are going to have to do that if they want to genuinely work through this, and they know this, right? There is times where they do confront this and try to essentially look at that, or there's something that brings awareness to that, to where they have to confront that this is what is going on. And the moment they do that, they instantly start to panic and start to, do everything in their power to just move past that and ignore it and not deal with it, because they know how much it hurt them as a kid, right? This was something that was very traumatic to them, and this is what they've used to cope through all of that. And because they've had to do that for so long, it's become second nature to them. So it's so very easy for them to dismiss this and not do anything to try to change this. So while you, again, are trying to figure out what can be done on your end to fix this is only giving them more fuel and ammo to continue to be this way. And I know that can be so frustrating for you to hear, because you just genuinely have their best interest at hand, but they don't view it that way, and they probably never will, because this has to come from within. They have to recognize this finally and stop putting up these walls, and they have to want to work through these things. And chances are this is going to take some professional help with a therapist or a coach or something like that to help them process this, but they have to be willing to want to do this and actually take the actions to do so. So I know that there's a part of you that genuinely just wants to figure out some way to help this person. You want to try to help them to process this, because you know that this is going to help them not only with the relationship that you guys have, but in their own personal life. And you've seen how this has affected them. They are the only ones that are going to actually be able to make that change. So you have to recognize this, because you are just going to continue to try to fix this while this is really doing nothing. Maybe you give them some type of spark or inspiration to start to look there, but they are going to have such a strong fortress again to shut that down quickly. And you are just going to continue to be let down each and every time that you try to do everything that you can, and you put all this effort and energy, and they just dismiss it like nothing. You are not responsible for this person to make those changes. This is up to them. But what you are responsible of is yourself and knowing what is best for you. And chances are it's time for you to figure out what you need to do to move on and heal from this relationship. I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button. Please make sure to subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you in the next video.